Hello, today we are going to be talking about parental influence in gender socialization and how parents really help shape gender expectations, gender norms, and gender roles. Family is typically one of our first socializing agents. We are born into a family, and if it is not blood relatives, we typically take on a network of others that we surround ourselves with. So whether that is a social institution or mom and dad or grandparents, etc., family can take on many forms. And as we're growing, they tend to socialize their sons and daughters in different ways and working to shape different expectations. So typically, girls are given a very prescribed gender role in the sense of highlighting domestic toy, domestic play. They may be given a little bit more restrictions on what they wear as they age, dating, curfews, etc. Whereas boys typically are seen as a little freer from those domestic duties and responsibilities of cooking and cleaning and helping out around the house. We do see that changing in today's families and, being more egalitarian, but we are still talking in generalities where they can play a little rougher, a little bit more aggressive, a little more competitive, and perhaps they are disciplined less for those behaviors or in a different way. And even the toys that they play with really highlight gender differences. And it starts very, very early on with girls being advertised or toy companies, I should say, advertising gender very heavily through their toys. So domestic, again, you see this image of a girl pushing her little baby in what seems to be a stroller. So very, again, maternal, very domestic, whereas the little boy is playing with a truck, and that conveys a little bit more active play there. They may also discipline or penalize, sanction their children differently. Again, boys are expected to be a little tougher, whereas girls might be penalized for the same type of behavior, being too rough, being too unruly, whereas or less neat. They're expected to be clean and orderly, whereas boys might have been given a little bit more leeway in those arenas. Other than that, the types of behaviors, the types of activities, toys, play styles, chores that the boys and girls are given oftentimes are imbued with gender roles, whereas girls are asked to help their mother around the house or in things that are typically considered to be feminine, help with baking, help with the laundry, whereas boys might be asked to help their fathers work on the car, mow the lawn. There is nothing innately masculine or feminine about these behaviors, but our society has labeled them to be very gendered. And as we work on that dichotomy, we see them starting in our very own homes, in our very own early socialization process. So I hope you found this presentation helpful in showing you the influence of parents, parenting socialization in building our gendered selves, our gendered identities, and our gendered expectations.